Hey guys, Tom from Lushdoll here. I'm sure you've watched a TV show online that had a live studio audience, and whether it's a daily talk show or game show, reality show, or anything like that, did you know that you can be in the crowd and make money up to, say, $40 to $100 a day? Now, keep in mind, a lot of these opportunities are often found in Los Angeles or New York City, but doesn't mean you should at least look in the city you're in, because sometimes there are opportunities available. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how you can find paid audience work option. This is a fun way. Just go watch a show of sorts, game show, whatever it may be. You don't need any acting experience. You just have to read directions, show up on time, and you can get paid. You won't get rich doing this, but of course, if you want to get out of the house and make a couple dollars, I'm going to show you a couple resources you can use to find this type of work right now. First one I want to mention is standingroomonly.tv, and this one is free to join. It's one of the more popular ones, and how you want to join is you're going to create a profile. It takes about 5 minutes. You're going to upload a picture, put a little bit of information such as your phone number and so forth, review the terms and accept it. And then once you complete the confirmation process, they'll send you invites as well as let you access the dashboard. So for example, I'm on my dashboard right now, and it's during COVID right now, so there's not a lot of shows. But in this instant, they had this one. If you are available for a rush call, then you can register and apply for last minute opportunities. Aside from that, you can get emails whenever jobs do pop up. And if you're interested in it, then what you'll do is you'll just apply for the shows. And if the cast likes what they see, they'll give you contact information as to how you can proceed and show up and get paid for that day. Every show varies, but this is a great way to find shows. Again, it's during COVID, so a lot weren't showing up, but you can just register and apply, and you can see all the details whenever you click on the show tab like that. So another one I want to mention here is OnSet Productions. Just like Standing Room, you're going to create a profile, then find a show, and then you get your tickets to the show. And in this case, you're going to want to make sure that you look for the $sign here, because that means you're going to get an incentive. So for example, the Tournament of Champions, the Supermarket Stakeout will pay you, whereas Masked Singer, there's no $sign, you won't get paid. And if any of these are of interest of you, you'll click on it. And in this case, Tournament of Champions, it's not filming, but it ended, but you'll refresh it or log in, once in a while, and it'll show you the dates. If you don't want to browse on that dashboard, the front page there, you can also click on the calendar, and it'll show you what's available coming up. So for example, today's, we're in about mid-April here, and on April 15th, the Music Awards we could attend, but in this case, it doesn't have a $sign, but you can click on it, and it says at this time it is sold out, and it wouldn't pay, but you could at least see what it would look like, and then you would join it. But there's a wait list, sold out, as I mentioned, but you can view the description, what's expected of you, as well as if it paid, and if that were the case, it would show you what they're paid and how you would get paid. So be sure to read that, and if it's something of interest, then you can just click on the application list here and apply to the show. And then if you get approved, you'll just get an email confirmation, and you can go from there. TvTaping.com is what I want to mention. This one only focuses on New York City, but as I mentioned in the video, most of your jobs for paid audience work is going to be in Los Angeles or New York. If you live in New York or you're going to be in New York, then this is a big one here, and you can see all the shows that you can attend. Now, some aren't going to pay you, but if you want to find the ones that do, you're going to want to look at paid gig. For example, paid gig, no, but Beat Bobby Flay will pay you $65. Again, this is during COVID, so there's not going to be a lot of active ones. Once COVID passes, there'll be a ton. And again, just look through what's expected of you. And for example, this AOL headquarters series paying $75. It's 2 hours long. And if you wanted to get access to that particular show, then you would click on it, and then you would gain access. Now, the only downfall with this New York TV one is that they do have a charge, but it's only a one-time $5 charge. So if you're really serious about finding these paid gig shows, then I would just pay the $5, because then you can at least know how to apply to the shows. It also can keep you updated, as you can see on their main page. This list keeps going and going and going and going, and if you want to get paid just even once, if you can get on board for one of those paid gigs, you can see that if we go to the top, this one alone can pay $75, and then if you went to the other one up here, this one pays $65. Most of the gigs are unpaid, so if you wanted to watch a show like the $100,000 Pyramid and you're a big fan and you just wanted to get shows, then I feel like that little $5 investment could be worth your time. Craigslist is one I want to mention here. I feel it's underrated, but I wanted to show you the New York City side of things again. Remember, Los Angeles and New York City are going to be your top job opportunities, but other cities work as well, so try the strategy in your local town. And what you're going to want to do is go to the gigs section here, and when you click on that, you're just going to want to type in something along the lines of audience. And when I do that, it's going to show you a variety of jobs that may involve audience work. So if we scroll through here, I can see right now, again, it's during COVID, I'm not seeing a lot of audience member jobs, but in the past I have. I only saw this on camera audience members for a podcast. So if we were to click on that one, it just said we are looking for on-camera audience members to join us for live taping. Just fill out this form, and then they say they'll pay you $150 for 3 hours. So they do pop up again. During the pandemic here, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities, but you can find some options. Just make sure when you're dealing with people on Craigslist, as you may know, there's a lot of scammers out there. Just trust your gut instinct. If the price seems too high, or you're going to some shady location, it's best to skip it. But I have seen that there are decent opportunities on here from time to time, so it's worth giving it a shot to see what pops up. The last one I want to mention here is a website called AuditionsFree.com. They do a great job at keeping up to date with paid audience gigs throughout the United States. And if you click on their category here, you can see that there's just a wide variety of options. So there's, for example, a television network in Atlanta for a dating show, BET in Georgia, another one in Atlanta, and they do a good job updating all the time, but it's not specific to one area. So if you are interested in just seeing what's available, as you can see right now, there's a lot of Atlanta jobs. But if you were interested in this game show one here, you would just click on it, and then it would just tell you a little bit about what's expected. You have to be 18 to 50, dress in hip gear here, must have government ID. These are the dates you'd have to attend. And then you could scroll down and see that it would pay $50, starts at 5 p.m. And the list goes on. And then you can find towards the bottom where you can sign up for that particular audience job if you are interested in it. Again, they do a good job at updating, but during the pandemic right now, they're not updating as much as they have been. But once that passes through, you can definitely bookmark this. It looks a little out of date website wise, but I promise you can see on the side here they update at least 5 to 10 options a day, so that can be a good idea. But it just depends on where you live. You may find that you may never see anything, but you just never know. So it's just one to bookmark and see what happens. Before I end the video here, I just want to answer a couple questions that people usually have in terms of paid audience work. And usually what's expected of you is you just sit there, and if an audience lights up, you may be asked to applause. They just ask that you act naturally. So when you show up, you don't need to have acting skills. You just sit in the audience and just watch the show as you naturally would. That's usually all you need to do. And this as a note, usually before you show up, it'll tell you what you need to wear dress code wise, and an email will lay out everything. As long as you follow those directions, you shouldn't have a problem. Next, in terms of how much you get paid, as long as you arrive on time, the casting company accepts you. Most of the time, you're going to make 10 to 15 plus an hour, about $50 to $75 per taping. This really depends on the budget of the show. So, for example, a lot of them, such as Price is Right, doesn't need to pay because there's demand, but a small-time Food Network show may need to pay you $50 to get you in there. They don't want an empty audience there. So in the end, you can make up to about $75, about half a day's work. But as at work, you're really just sitting there. And if you're accepted, how does the process work? Generally, you're just going to have to sign up for those websites I mentioned, and if you're approved, company will send out a confirmation email. They'll ask you to call hotline. You'll learn more about details, or they'll just email and you'll respond back. They'll tell you what you need to wear, where to show up, how much you're going to pay. And from what I read, just don't bring your cell phone. Usually you'll have to leave that at home or safely in the car. And if you do bring it, they may ask you to store it there, or you may ask to bring back to your car. And then for most jobs, you will have to show an ID and just abide by the dress code. That's going to wrap it up. From what I researched, usually about most of your jobs, I keep mentioning is New York City, Los Angeles, but some will be elsewhere too. You saw Atlanta pop up. That's starting to be a hub for this type of work. And while some jobs are sprinkled elsewhere, you're just not going to find too many in other cities. Don't be too discouraged. So if you like the idea of sitting in an audience, get paid for your time, it can happen. Just don't feel as if it's going to jumpstart your career. Just you're going to make $50 here and there. It's just a fun way to get out and check out shows. So check out those websites. They're reputable. There's other ones as well. I linked to an article on LushDollar.com. Check that out. As always, LushDollar.com also has other ways to make money and save money, to be smart with your money. I'm always honest. I'm never going to push something that I don't believe in. Also, be sure to check out the videos, liking and commenting and subscribing. All that fun stuff helps me out as well. That's going to do it for now. I'll see you guys next time.